Right.
45.
I think it's at 50 for me. Yep, 49. I think it went high.
Was it high?
I think it was high.
Sure.
Looked like it.
What is it?
58.
All right, it's Friday morning. Mason got his doe last night. That's how we finished out the day. We've come back into the same general location. It's just a different part of it. And we've gotten to this vantage point here. We've spotted a cow elk up on the hill up there in the upper sections of brush. And now we've got a bull that we've heard bugle twice down below us in the lower end of this ravine. So the wind is kind of a little bit of a crosswind, kind of in our face. We're going to back out, circle around, see if we can get close enough, and then we're going to see if we can call a cow in for Mason. Here we go.
good buck.
Which one by the fence?
Well, it's a 3-point whitetail. I guess it's not that great, but it's a buck. It's the first whitetail buck I've seen.
Yep.
Dang, that thing is big. I think that's a herd bull.
Yes. I can't get him, but
There might even be 7. 7 bulls.
are you sure it's a bull?
It's a bull.
Okay. I'm gonna drop back then.
Doesn't look like a big one, but it's coming.
You want some women? Okay. I'm gonna drop back before he buffs me. Wind isn't great.
He came charging down that hill.
Yep. I think that's the cow you saw up there. I think it was a bull.
It might have been, yeah. It would make more sense than a random cow that far
Yeah.
away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see him pissing on himself and rolling on the ground down there.
Yeah, he's raking right now.
Yeah. Haven't seen the other one.
That is so weird that other one moved off.
Must be a big old guy, have a bunch of cows around him. he's
Oh, yep.
Yeah,
I
he's
see
right
him.
there.
Yep, I see him.
Good little 3-point buck in there. You see him just run around in a circle.
The bull or the...
Yeah, the bull.
Well, because he wants to come. But he either thinks this bull over here is bigger than him, or he just, something's not right for him.
He's just bumped out that whitetail buck. Like that. So weird.
The wind is right at our back right now.
Yeah.
Alright, it's about 5 o'clock. I started off today in the same place that I shot my bull and Mason shot his doe. But we went to a separate coulee than where we were yesterday. And as we were getting into the place where we were going to get out of the truck and start walking, we started seeing several whitetail does, and I have a B tag, so we spent a little bit of time kind of chasing them through the brush. I did end up getting one shot. I thought it was around 40 yards. I shot right over its back, so I'm not sure what happened, but we spent a little bit of time doing that. So by the time we started actually hiking towards the coulee that we were headed to, it was a little bit later than we wanted. But as soon as we got up over there, we heard a bull bugle, and then Mason spotted what we thought was a cow at the time, bedded up in some trees quite a ways up the opposite hillside. So we got ourselves positioned, tried to get the wind right. And then we did see the bull that was bugling too, big bull. It's the same bull that we saw in that same area last year, because his antlers are pretty distinctive. We saw him. He was just down at the bottom of the ravine, pretty much directly below us. I really couldn't get much video of him because I didn't want to hold the camera up too high and get busted. But he appeared to be down there by himself. We waited until he went into the trees, gave it a little bit of time, and then I backed off. Was probably 30 yards, 40 yards behind Mason. Started calling, and he never responded. The rest of the day, we never heard a single peep from him. Eventually, I moved up and started bugling to see if that would piss him off, and he did come out, but basically moved away from us and never made a sound. He never made an attempt to come to us, never made a sound, and we never saw him again after that. But while we were trying to get his attention, trying to get him to respond, what we thought was the cow up on the other hillside was actually a kind of a raghorn that had a busted antler on one side. He came running down the hill to us. So we thought he was going to come in. So if nothing else, we were going to try to get video and give Mason some practice, maybe drawing on an elk. But he hung up at the bottom of the ravine and wouldn't come the rest of the way. But Mason was able to see him wallowing down there and getting all excited and with the calling. But yeah, he never came across the fence and never made it up our side. And that was it. So we headed back to town, got gas, and then came out to where we are right now. We got here right in the middle of the day. It was way too hot, so kind of been just, Mason's never been here before, so it's kind of showing him around and just kind of glassing and you know, seeing if we heard anything before it started to get a little bit later in the evening. The problem is there's cows everywhere. When we've been here in the past, there's been cattle on the state land and the BLM land, but they usually haven't had cattle on the private land where the elk usually are, and there's cattle everywhere. There's cattle on the private, the BLM, the state. So not very optimistic for this place anymore, because the elk just, they don't like that, and there's plenty of places they can go to stay away from it. So yeah, you can probably hear the cattle right now. But so it's about 5 o'clock. We haven't really done much for calling. We went on the backside of where the camera's facing right now behind us. Did a little bit of calling there, never heard or saw anything. So we're gonna start some here and probably stay here the rest of the evening and just see if we can get something going, so we know whether we should come back here tomorrow and spend the day or not. So that's the update for today. A little bit slower than yesterday, but we got a lot of time left. Well, we just did 20 minutes of some pretty serious calling, and we got 0 responses. Never saw anything come out, never got any vocal responses, just nothing. So we're back to the original spot where we were sitting when we first got here, and just gonna see if anything materializes. We don't know the hunter that's in the red truck down below, basically parked right next to us. We don't know where they went, so there's always a chance that they are moving up through some of the stuff and they kick something our way. So we're gonna kind of hope something like that happens, or hope some elk start to move on their own, and or some deer, and we can make something happen. All right, real quick update, since I've been doing such a poor job of that, but it's Saturday morning. We came back to the same place we shot the the bull and the doe, and we were just gonna walk this kind of really brushy ravine, see if we could kick up a whitetail doe. I still need to fill one of those tags, and then head to back coulee where we saw the 2 bulls yesterday and see if anything else was in there. First thing we did was we checked the deer and elk carcass to see if there was, you know, a bear or anything on it. There was nothing there. Then we walked this side hill before we get to the spot where we parked to see if we'd run into any whitetail, and there was nothing, which was kind of a shock. But it turns out there's another hunter in here, and I think that's probably the reason why. So we backed out. We're just gonna go walk this kind of nondescript ravine, but it's got some brush in it. We might kick up a whitetail, see what happens with that. Still waiting for a text from Gary to see if maybe we are able to go onto this other property. I'm 95% sure we probably could. Again, they let anybody that asks hunt, but I just don't like doing it by myself because Gary is the one that has asked. So just waiting for a text back from him to see if it's okay for us to go there, and that might be where we go after we walk this ravine. But it's the weekend, so I'm sure we're going to see a lot more pressure, a lot more hunters out. But that's the start for today. Oh, hey. see,
What the hell?
well, see what I'm talking about?
Well, yeah. Where did he come from?
Like right there.
Oh, yeah, but like,
That is incredible.
he was like at least a 7-point. Yeah.
No.
He had 2 little tiny ones on the back.
No.
7. At least a 7 on one side.
He was a nice bull.
Yeah.
I mean, too bad he didn't have some cows with him. But man, these bulls are getting hunted because they do. The calls are like, I'm out. That's a hunter. I'm out.
Those weren't very good cow calls.
No, mine either. But
I need to practice it definitely.
he's clearly on the move, looking. So,
He's
man,
still on the skyline up there.
I can't. The sun is so bright.
He's over there.
Oh
You're
shoot!
looking the wrong
Yeah,
way.
he is. Yeah, I didn't realize he was getting out of town. But let me see. I never looked at him with my binoculars, and I couldn't tell good enough.
At least 7 on one side, and then I couldn't tell the other side.
He just jumped the fence. Yeah, he's a nice bull. Hey, Mason, whitetail buck, buck. Meh. Ah. Ah. I saw him laying down. But I'm thinking Mason has to shoot him. I should have tried to get a shot. I was thinking Mason's got to shoot him.
Oh, he knows exactly where to run.
Yeah. Dude, he was at 20 yards bedded. I saw him looking at me, laying there.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could have gotten one off, but I could have tried. He was decent. Told you, they'll find this little spot like this. Nobody's coming up here.
Exactly where to go.
How far?
100 yards.
I see it. It's mule deer. I think. Hold on, let me check. All right, so let's just cut back down through this. I know the wind is wrong, but
Straight across.
yeah, yeah.
At this point, we can just get over to Butcher.
How do you zoom this thing?
Up top.
Yeah, it's handy. Good morning. Found you.
I don't think that's a cub. That looks like a good-sized bear. Those two brown ones then, I don't know. They might not have been cubs. Unreal. Yeah, that's the other second brown cub. So she has 3 cubs. They're big cubs though. Look at how close she is to the cows. She's standing up. Yeah, she was standing up. Yeah. Well, I see the mom and 1 cub. The other 2 are way back. Okay, it's a little bit after 2:30. I don't remember if I've done another update, but this morning when we're gonna go back to the original place where we shot the elk and the doe. Somebody was there, so we backed out. We just went and walked a couple little coulees, but we weren't, I don't know, 100 yards down the first coulee. I mean, literally, there's no brush, no nothing. It's just like tall pasture grass. I look up and there's a big bull. Mason said he saw at least 7 on one side, maybe 7 on both. But a big bull just trotting across the pasture. No idea that we were there. I only had my GoPro, and then Mason had his phone. Did you get video of it?
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know. I haven't seen what that looks like. I'm sure it's not great, but I mean, that was the last thing in the world we thought. There's no cover there. It's completely wide open. Pretty sure he spent too long out in the fields trying to stuff his belly and was trying to hustle back to get back to some private land where he knew he was going to be safe. But anyways, that was really cool to see him. He was probably 150 yards, maybe closer. But so once he was gone, we tried calling to him to stop him, and he did not like the calls. That made him run faster. But then we started walking the coulees that we were planning to walk, and we saw some mule deer, or at least one mule deer, just out in the tall grass. And we got right to the end of the coulee, and I kicked up a fairly decent whitetail buck. Again, I just have the GoPro, so I don't really know if it's going to be close enough to see it, but I saw it bedded, and I don't know that I could have gotten a shot anyway, but I yelled to Mason on the other side of the coulee, "Mason, whitetail buck." I'm not sure why I did that, but that definitely made him jump and run. So, but you know, pretty cool to see him. Then we went back down and we walked the longer arm of that coulee and saw some more mule deer. I wouldn't even say stalk. I walked towards them out in the tall pasture grass. I got to like probably 15 or 20 yards on the doe. I knew it was a mule deer, so it was just for practice. The fawn was like 10 yards from me, and drew on her just to, again, get practice. And she stood there forever. Anyway, came back to the coulee, walked it out, saw a few more mule deer up above us, and then on our way back to the truck, and I don't know how old I'm gonna have to be to learn this lesson, but turned the camera off, like basically just was carrying my bow, not paying attention at all. We were just talking about, like, you know, morning was kind of an exciting morning, even though it wasn't what we were planning on doing, and busted a whitetail doe, like, I don't know, 15, maybe 20 yards max in front of us. And had we been watching and looking, we maybe would have seen her bedded and gotten an opportunity. But anyway, made it back to the truck, and then we heard back from Gary that we were okay to come to this place where we are now. We're actually on National Forest right now, but it's another piece of property that we can hunt. Pretty much anybody that asks can hunt. So we came, we glassed there. We saw 4 bears. Like, Mason spotted them. Like, literally, we got out of the truck. I wasn't even finished getting stuff out of getting my spotting scope out of the truck, and Mason's like, "I see a bear. I see another bear. I think I see another bear." Anyway, so it ended up being a sow with 3 big cubs. Like, they must be in their last year with her. So we watched them trek all the way across the hillside that we were watching. And then we took quite a bit of time looking for deer and never found any, and so we decided we were going to hike up into the end of the property and then up into the national forest. On the way up here, we thought we heard some distant bugles, so we kept coming up, and eventually, long story short, we were kind of trading. Well, there's one right there. We're trading calls with what we thought was possibly a bull. We knew that it was possible it was a hunter, but anyway, we worked in closer to it over time, and we're about 99% sure it's a hunter. And so we're getting ready to make a loop, finish our loop, and make our way back to the truck. We're going to wait until it gets a little bit closer to evening and then work our way out of here and hopefully, either spot some deer that we can stalk or see another bear that we can that's legal to actually shoot. So we got a little bit of time. We'll wait until it starts to cool off and then see what we can locate.